Good morning, or whatever it is, wherever you are. Did I really leave my server up? Or shut it down? Yep. Still running. Idling away. So I didn't leave myself any notes about exactly where we were. I think we got it to the point where it would recognize other name phrase or other name completion scenarios. But then it would end up saying, still say curse. We had to record the prefix of the string. Yep, all dead people down here still. Yeah, switches it to curse. So I need to figure out. So right now I've been keeping the original completion text as just the name. Name text. Oh. Yeah. I'm keeping just the name and then testing against the object name. Well, we have a thing that gets name text, right? If it's curse, we can have potentially a complete name or a two-part name, because we know exactly what the name part of that is. If well, actually, here's an interesting idea. The server has to do all this stuff. Although I know naming phrases has multiple things. Curse level. Is curse naming say? Make player say. So we actually did use a function here. Oh, there's a cursing phrases. Baby naming phrases, family naming phrases, cursing phrases. So these are probably server settings. I don't know if they're going to be available on the client even. Server settings. Oh. So there are several options there. Eve name? Eve. Family naming phrases. Oh, apparently you can do the short I'm. Oh, and he handles Eve with allowing Eve prefixes. So these don't include the space. What would be baby naming phrases? You are called. Shorthand your is. Hmm. So I pretty much just use some certain phrases all the time. Anyway, is naming say? So we have a phrase list. Okay, it's reading a written phrase. Loud does not have usual effects. Stir stir. Test string. Oh, so stir stir tests if the opening part. Well, we don't have quite that same condition. Stirlin test string. Skip spaces after and then. Address of sedster phraseline. So that's just a different kind of pointer math. So I'm trying to allow more of an arbitrary completion. So sedster is the name. We're not really concerned with returning the test string. But in my case, I do kind of want to have that full original phrase so we can update it. So I would not want to overwrite that because we do want the original. Well, we're currently capturing the partial names as a separate thing. I could use one buffer and then have a sub pointer into it. Living life. So I would have to ship all the naming phrases to have special handling, full support for special handling for that. Find the last space, record the name text. We do not do anything to record the rest of the field, but we only record anything if we were not already completed to something. So that would just be recording cur text. Original completion length, original completion text against the name. What do we do with cur text? Oh. And then this loops back around to the stuff we borrowed this from. So I moved this down because I was doing stuff with it. Oh, well, you're right. Name was a pointer into that. But if we cop... If everything below here is based out of the original completion text one way or another, then as soon as we've done this, then we're doing the cur text buffer, of course. So I'm wondering if we switch over to re-identifying this from original text. We have to do that after we've checked to see if the current thing is a matching name. And we still have to know, if we're doing a sequence, we still have to know which name matched. And I think I was maybe lazy with that in places. So I'm kind of having the same problem I have with the original code, is that I'm losing track of the overall structure of things. Where I might have wanted to do functions. Cur text. Do I even use cur text length? A little bit. So the original intent of this was to have the full phrase, I think. So we could just copy that. And then we have to re-identify the name portion out of there to use down here. Which means I kind of want to have some of this stuff. Wait a minute. This is not in JSON Aurora style. In a function. For the original completion length, we're actually going to need multiple points there. We're going to need that. We're going to need the name. I could pull that out and And then the problem is we have the original, well, we'd almost want to record both the prefix length and the name length, because that was essentially the name length. See, that's not giving me a, well. And then I'm going to want to be able to repeat this code on the original string if we're going back to do that again. Name index. I wonder if I could do and find me the current index within there and pull all that out as a function. As we get down here, we say we're starting there, else we're going to save this. And then we're going to redo detection on our original thing, but also using a breakpoint, so to speak. So if we stick all this together, I think this stuff doesn't have to be a member function. This is like name detection. No, we do need the list of game objects. This is going to have arguments. That's going to complain about this function not existing. Not declared in the scope. Oh, right, because I changed some names. I haven't updated the code yet. Length. Just shut up for a bit. So we want this to be, I guess Kurt. Well, in string works. And this probably won't actually be void, because what we want is... I think the output is just an index. And then we have to assume that we have our original completion prefix by the time we get down there. So we want to do in string name text in string okay, so that's that. And then to be able to reuse this, we need the point with a breakpoint, or the version with a breakpoint. Which means I'll also need a start point. Cur name index. int. I think leaves it sign. Well, it's negative, so it better be. So now that's going to mismatch. Declaration, I'm going to get lots of complaints about that. Oh, sorry, there's lots of complaints. Jar pointer in string. Oh, he likes spaces. Now, because there's a constant pointer to a variable string, and there's a variable pointer to a constant string. Creates a pointer to constant string. The string literal to a const char. Legal in C++11. Oh, because this is a constant string. Pointer of tar, or the second type is an array of type char any. Array identifiers decay to pointers in some context. Copies characters into it. Oh, char array. Oh, so it allows you to have undefined or unspecified size. Yeah, I thought there was a constant pointer versus const pointer to a const string. Static const. Is less good. Need the string to be visible to other source files. Can't declare it static. This variable is inside a function. Multiple calls to the function. Const char equals string is here an extra writable pointer. Change the characters in this string to make the pointer point to const char const is what I was thinking of. So pointer to constant. That's what I was thinking of. Which is probably unnecessary. But accurate to how I intend to use it. Int cur name index. Now this is going to be const. Where is that? Oh, because this also has to be... that is actually variable? Assignment of read-only variable. So apparently that's not how you would expect it syntactically. In strilling. Shadows a oh, right. No, should not be, this should be our first, not cur in name index. New index. So this would be start name index. Start name index. And I'm not sure what to do with that right now. Okay, but it passes the sanity check. So we take our string, we identify the name. We're going to want... Well, if we have the original string in the name, we can get the prefix length pretty easy, actually. Which is actually going to be... the only annoying thing is we have to check. We don't know if it was the space or not. Well, I guess we're going to want the space if we add it, so... Then we do this. So start name index, we actually want to be initialized at the end. Just because, I forget why I chose that. Well, in part that was because the previous name list ordering. And in part, why did I do that? This is original completion length. We need to know if the length of the name, its text length, coming out of here, name text, should be equal to something. I guess I don't need it before then, do I? So this is going to be in name text and in name length. And this is just, yes, actually I think this is not necessarily here, because we just return the index we found. And that's declared there. If name text, name text length. if name tag, if there's no name at all, and we're trying to do name matching, I don't really think we should do anything. That's an unsigned int. Actually, there. That resets that. So start name index, we should pass into here game object size currently. We could reverse this. I don't remember. It seems like I had some reason for doing the downward traversal. So we do downward there, we do downward there. You need a semicolon. First thing we just have to, oh, you know what? No, because that's a different check here. We have to know where start is so we know when to stop when looking again. Oh, that is just going through indexes, and we update and break. I could do this as a return. Just return I. Return I. Then could I use... Yeah, because the only purpose of that is to track what we found. No, we still need to do some sort of default value. And since that does a return, we'll only get to that if we didn't return. If that's the top value, then that will be a almost a no-op loop. L name text length. Name length. Return statement the value in function, right. This is going to be an int, and now it's going to be out of tune with the living life page.h. Return statement with no value. So now in theory, we can come down here. We can say our cur text. And we are going to need to record that. I don't know if we need the length. Then we have int cur name index equals name detection in cur text starting at game objects dots. Well, we have to know that it's game objects, which is kind of annoying. That will give us our initial index. New index equals cur name index, else we copy our original text. We're done with that. And then the plan was to and this is where we need to be able to return because that doesn't return the name position. It gives you a name index, but not the position information, which is a multi-valued return. So I may have to break that up into like name detection and name matching. Where name detection doesn't actually have to be a member function, but name matching does need game objects. At least I'm assuming. Oh, game objects is not a member. So we don't technically need you in there. Oh, and then everything is broken because we were attempting to do that. But we have name detection and name text, I think, is the only thing we take out of there. That needs a start name index. It gives you back an index. This should I go with car pointer for now? Because I'm not sure about this one yet. Oh, but that's, yeah, that says it's a const here. This is where const can get hairy. Also, we're no longer doing const on that. Now this can become a... this could potentially become a return. Oh, no, because this we still need. And then if that's null... no, that's supposed to be in string. Gets name text. This could put... well, we still need it down here, so we might as well do it there. Then we have name matching and name detection. Name index, but we need to have the name text that's actually name detection on text. And then this is name matching. Okay, so this is... no, you're what fetches the say field. Wait, name detection is name text. Name matching is name text, which means we should be done... right, we need the original text down here. Name detection, we probably copied our original stuff, which had the start name index. Current name index. So could we just say, do we need current name index? Well, we use it as a separate variable down there. So we could really just go new index equals. And then say, if new index is equal to -1, meaning we didn't find anything, then we do that. So we want to record cur text. But then we have to repeat everything. Oh no, if we copy it, then these are the same. if we found a name, so then we do have kind of an else case. Then we need to repeat this stuff with original. Well, we have to else if we have a length and then we're done with cur text, because we may have captured it. Then all of this should be captured in there. That's saying if we found it, then that is... Okay, so then having done all of that, if we found something, well, this is saying new index equals to -1, period. Yeah, this isn't quite right. Oh, because those were two different matches. One was exact match, and one was partial match. That's what I messed up. The first test oh. We can't do multiple completions in the generic case, because it will complete to a two-step word, or a 2 to 3 word thing. Well, no. If we know the length of the input text and we know the length of the target name, we should be able to calculate where to start checking. But that's a very different kind of loop. That's in the name matching loop, which we had been passing name text, not full text. So we need to detect if there is a complete name match. Actually name matching will work on the full string. Because instead of doing name length, which, I mean, is great and all. Well, no, because that's a different matching algorithm. This is saying, is there a prefix match on the string, or is the other loop would be saying, is any of these an exact match? This is like trailing name match. And we don't care about start index in this case, because we're determining what the start index is. And this is the code we deleted before. And this is going to be a straight ameObjects.size. So here we need well, I might not need both numbers of these, because what we really need is just the math on, well, we need to do comparisons. So if text length greater than or equal to name length, and name text, so name text is at least text length, or at least name length. Minus name length and then this is actually a different variable now, but it's that. And starting back that many points, many items. If the entire trailing name is equal to that, then we found a match. And our first test was now this is not new index. This is cur name index is trailing name match on cur text. Which, well, you know what? We can get the name text out of that and then back it off if we need to. If it's an exact match, or rather if it's not an exact match. So if there's no match, then we do this. Else we pick up with the original completion. Else we need to make our name new index equals that. Oh, actually, now we don't need to reuse name detection. I might need to be able to get name text in. Because we did find a trailing name match. No, actually, we need to do that. If we did not find, if there was a perfect name match, we want that to set our start index. If there was and we want to continue using our original completion text. If it's a trailing name match, we have nothing to do. Oh, except cycle to the next name matching our original completion text. So we have no exact match. Has not run yet. Capture partial name for matching. Else we have name match. Try to I'm going to need to be able to reset this. But else if original completion length, length would have to be unsigned. Name match, but no. Yeah, name match, but no partial name to work with. Name match. Some text to try and find partial name in. try next name. Has not yet run. So in both these cases, so here we need to capture it. Here we already have it. But both of these have original completion text. So either we set it, actually, this doesn't need to be an else. At this point, we should have something we can match in. This is not necessarily a name match, though. Name match, we need to try the next entry. No exact match has not yet run yet. So I think we're going to need so now we can assume that curname index has a value. We also want to capture that. Which means our start point for the search is curname index, which is -1, which is not, I don't think that's well, means our split is at the bottom. So our first one will run all the way, our second one will run first one won't run, second one will run top to bottom. So that would still work. Kinda. That indentation does not work. But then this is in name text. So actually this pair of functions could be put together, although this makes a sort of nice breakup. So this would say if we did, well, we're going to end up with a new name index, which we're going to want to use. But we are done with cur text here. If we did not find a name to match against, we're not going to change anything. If we did, If original completion length equals 0, we could not have possibly gone down here. So I first need to check all that game object. Uh, 19409. $4.99. And it's complaining name text. So we need to check our detection end of things, if all of that's working correctly. Then we might have to record a little more information. But we might be able to calculate our prefix. All right, so as far as things a client could possibly know about, well, you'll be one the second. Duels. Okay. Okay, so neither of those detect now. So we start with trailing name match. If we don't find it, I guess maybe I should see... Would anything happen if we did get a match? Hey, Lapis for the win. How's it going? Well, it's not going to change anything. Nope. It is not detecting that at all. So now I need to get into logging to determine where we're going wrong. App log, warning, F. Cur name, index, %D, cur name index, da, 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 da. We would then come down to original completion length. Then we need to know what name we found. I've used a bit of it, yeah. And then the Mac, which is very similar. And actually the shell I'm using here is some Unix emulation stuff. Control engine reaches end of non-void function, 19504. Oh, yeah, you need a default case. install Redair 2. It says I need GNU. Well, GNU is... Does it say GNU anything else? Because GNU is a open source project that produces a lot of things. Probably the biggest one is the GNU C compiler. So it might be, so you might have to look for a project name like GNU Make. Yeah, so you'd have to search for that in your package tool. So if you know what distribution you're using, and then you'd look up how to install packages. I know a common one is, I believe it's apt-get on a lot of the Debian-based distributions. I forget what, there's another one the Red Hat things use. There's Alpine use something different. So you'd have to find out what your distribution is and then figure out what your, like distribution name, package tool, and see if that, or how to install package, distribution name, and that should get you to the right commands. If you know what distribution it is, I might know that offhand. Yeah, and then that should give you, well, actually, I don't know if apt-get allows you to search, but it might just be like GNU-make or something. I'd have to look it up. I think, or if you're using a GUI, there might be a GUI package manager as well, depending on where you're at. And then that should have you a search functionality for, hopefully GNU Make would come up with something. All right, so we rebuilt without warnings. Okay. Oh! So apparently that Ah, cool. Yeah, they might, yeah, that would be a very handy feature to have. Okay, so that actually seems to be that default return. Okay, so that's detecting. That's detecting. I don't have two people to check cycling, which I guess I actually need to do since we changed a bunch of stuff. Ah, nice. There's a pig up there that could kill us. Threat. So I'm attempting to add some convenience features to this game, which publishes its source in public domain and is therefore hackable. So I've got my own like custom client for it. I'll be actually playing this afternoon. Okay. So cycling does not work right now. Although, well, that might be that it will. Nope, cycling does not work right now. But we should have an app log that might be able to tell us something about that. So in particular, there's a sort of griefer management mechanism where you can curse people, and then if they get enough curse points at once, they get to a little timeout area away from everybody else. But if, is your griefer, it's really hard to get that spelling down. So I'm trying to make a thing that can complete from known names. I wanted log. So we start with name completion, cur name index is the first thing for all of these. -1. Ooh, so it's just not detecting that. Original completion length 316. So trailing name match does not work. We then detect curse and get Eve Threet. But we're starting from the beginning again because we didn't have a cur name index. So why are you failing? Trailing name match. Do we reuse? Yes, we reuse this. Greater than or equal to name length. Maybe I'm doing my math wrong here. So app log warning F. So we have looking in %s of text length for name of %d. So the other bit has to be conditional. But let's see if our numbers make sense. Looking in string of length, test length, for name of length, name length, that works as well. And we've got 2 characters in game. As long as they live, which they'll starve someday here. Okay, should hopefully. Well, I don't need to worry. Yeah, it is cycling that's the issue. Load file. Cur name index. I forgot to compile. Load file. Cur name in. Ooh. Okay, looking in curse Eve Threet for Eve Threet 16. So for Eve Tubles 12. So I'm doing something wrong here. If text length greater than or equal to name length, then it is safe to do this math. warning F, comparing %s in string minus name length. Oh. Yeah, that would be a little bit of a problem. What? What? Printf pointer. %p. Okay, I suspected that for some reason, but %p minus %d equals %p. All right, so there, in string name length, in string minus name length. Now I know Jason was using a different format for some of his string math, so I might have to switch to that. Okay, E3CCA0 minus 10, E3CC 9F6. A9F6 16. But is it possible that we are doing wide characters in this compiler setup? Because we are getting a blank string if we do that. I guess if that put it at some partial barrier, character barrier. Oh no, that's the start of the string, not the end of the string. You know, I was thinking I needed to do some math here. It's like, oh, well, that's easy. In string plus text length minus name length. No, wait, is that right? Yes, advance it by every, so if it's 16 and 10, 16 minus 10 is 6, so advance it by 6. I was thinking back from the end for some reason. I Yeah, I went in thinking, oh yeah, I have to subtract those, and then just totally, I think that's what they call a brain fart. Aww, Eve Two Bowls is dead. Oop. So you are Fraker. Yay, we can cycle again. All right, so having restored ourselves to original functionality, but now we have, I still have a bunch of app logs here. New index name text. So our string is original completion text. Our name is name text. This is going to be actually might be a little bit. Is it auto sprintf? This is more a straight up copy. It would sort of simplify things if I went ahead and inserted the 0 character into my string. I don't want to overwrite that buffer because I need to know what my original name was. Oh no, if I use a length limited, no, even a length limited copy, the thing we're copying into still has to have space. So I think we just have to go actually, I could calculate the exact size we need. But then that's a dynamic size. I think there's like I forget if it's stir copy or stir copy n. Stern copy. End of source string. Destination is padded with zeros. Null character is source is longer than num. Destination shall not be indeterminate C string. Stern copy into curse. Original completion text of original completion text minus name text. We pulled this out. We're going to be putting, oh, we get the name here. So we're going to kind of need to do this again. It's not we're not getting a well, that means we have a reference to it. I guess the source could change. Under us, but it's a temporary pointer. So that gives us the length of no. We had to get the name to find it, right? Yeah, we had name text. So name text is there. So we copy that. It will not be a properly terminated string. We need the no, not minus. Yeah, so different, that's the length. Yeah. Source destination length. Our destination for curse plus, I think we're going to need I didn't need this to think. And you return destination, so it doesn't tell us how many things it copied. So we kind of have to assume that. No, curse plus a name text length. Great. Prefix length is this. Curse plus prefix length. Game object's name. For which we have shortened to name because we have to measure the length of it. Oh, right. It will do up to name characters. So really, then this is minus prefix length is the amount of string left. And we're kind of going out on a limb that our original completion text can't be longer than that. We think we've set that up to be true. And then we don't need to delete curse because it's on the stack. Yeah, so you can get the prefix out of there, but it's not super easy. Actually, did I end up using this? No. And we're down to one Eve again. Well, oh. Oh, no. Okay, we did do something terribly wrong. Oh, and it's not necessarily a curse. It is... Okay, so the character's name, the amount of there, that should be limited. Well, I guess we break it down to do we reset it to that. It might be that this results in an unterminated string. Well, actually, this could definitely result in an unterminated string. But name should be a terminated string. But that means you would have to do prefix length plus name length is definitely equal to a 0. All right, so I think that pre-initializes it, which I don't know if I want to have it doing that. Oh, wait. Unused variable. Okay, yes. Which may not be super... Might not be super efficient. We shouldn't do this too often. Oh, no, it's that thing that's, So that should just leave it as an empty string. So if that crashes, then we've done something else wrong somewhere. Okay, so that doesn't crash. And this, well, since that statement seems to be, especially we need something like this statement, where we do from the start, and limiting that should be fine. See if we at least get our name. Okay, the name works. So this might not actually be initializing the entire thing. So we're going to have to say say sub. Let's simplify it back to this. Unused variable is fine. Nope, still crashes. There's something fundamentally wrong what I'm doing there. Oh, this should be name text minus... Oops. And that's an unsigned int, so it like completely wrapped around. And I wasn't even doing any maximum checking on this, because there is no max function. If prefix length is greater than that, then something has just gone very wrong, really. And even 255 is questionable, but... So we think copying the name will fix that up. Nope, everybody died. Okay, we didn't crash. And we think that the name copy will take care of the terminator. And then we want to double check that with multiple people. I haven't seen the boar in a bit, but I'd still prefer to be safe here. Oh, another thing I should check is... Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. We don't check for name exists. Where are other places? If name, if rlib object not equal to null, not equal to null. So we've got to consider that loop. We've got to consider now we're referencing it multiple times. We shouldn't have selected this if it got here. But or we shouldn't have selected a nameless character if it got here. Yep, 6 is the name. Hey, it works. Cycling works with the prefix. Is that? Okay, yeah, you have to type something. Which is kind of what we want. So that might be it. Let's see. Since I made a bunch of other functions, it's like, this isn't something I would necessarily go back and extract in the regular code. Well, let's, we've been far too long since the checkpoint. So it didn't even recognize that as a continuation, because it was just the one line. Pretty much total rewrite of just about everything. And I think I re-indented that. So it's sort of recognizing it. Because this is really kind of a big distraction from the stuff I care about. To the point, I'm going to put it back before all this stuff. And then void update erased. Wow. Oh, this has to be a living life page though, because it's mCurrent note cars, which is why the original function was handy to have. Well, I've already added one line there. Living life page.h. Fade older. That's his. It's his code. Did I actually cut this? I guess I cut this instead of copying and then updating. Did I not call it that? What? And that's this. Oh, fade. Yeah, okay, fade older erased characters. So that's just out of my face. And then I got some extra lines here. Okay, so we're getting our erasure properly. And did we actually... Yeah... No, actually we did end up using that. Okay. And I did not end up... So I could conceivably actually store name text. At this time. So now one problem we might have is that I never erase this. Or I never reset original completion text. Oh, but... Checkpoint that. Oh, yep. What was I thinking of? Oh, I need to probably move my data declarations up. So I can reset this stuff. When opening and closing safe field, basically. And I think I'm using... Unless... this captures any time we have something that doesn't match. So I guess the way it could go wrong would be that you do one set of completions and then you type something else that has an exact name, but a different prefix. So we do that, and then we go back here and we do curse Eve. Yeah. So that's how that goes wrong. Oh, but that wasn't even open and closing it. For original completion text to be valid, it has to be a substring of a beginning equal substring of the current string. I think I saw Jason doing some stir stuff. Locate substring. It would have to be, so that will possibly do more computation we'd like. But it'll do it. Now we were using stir compare up to num characters, so we would also have to do a stirlen. Oh, we've got our original text length, so we know the number of characters. We have a limit on the number of characters. No partial name to work with. Now, where in the process does this go? Capture the original text. So the situation is we have an exact name match, but our prefix has changed. Else if stern compare cur text to original completion text up to original completion length. And if that is contents of both strings are equal, or rather it's not equal, it's an exact match. The prefix has been rewritten. Well, in this case, there would be nothing. Or in this case, it would capture the. If it only does that if there is no exact match. This would be. The prefix has been rewritten, and we've already got an exact name match. Then we pretty much just stop, really. Because there's no prefix to capture. And to be useful, it has to have some matching string. Oh, I haven't deleted cur text. So this is more of this, really. Exact match, but prefix has changed. So not a continuation. Oh, okay, so that person's dead. They're both dead. But I can, this much, no, I'm gonna need two names. Sevener, to make, because otherwise I won't be able to tell if it's just bailing or it can't cycle to anything. Well, there is the two different prefixes. That's the main thing. But it's still a good case to check for. Amy. All right, so we completed that. And what if we did... Oh my gosh. We had Neve 6 before. Okay, it doesn't do anything. Get diff. All right. So we're getting towards lunchtime. So I went and abstracted away some of my prefix checking. But for the curse assist, I was specifically looking at trying to identify people who may have been seen holding a murder weapon or even a deadly weapon, and sort of prioritizing that in the list. But we can see how useful this is. I mean, just being able to sort out the abzads and the Ugumanshakakas might help a lot. So that is going to be, it's definitely going to be a checkpoint. STG series, and then I am going to want to actually have a couple of extra patches on when I'm playing today. We want to export custom get ignore to and it's mainly curse assist. And then we go back to patches. Oh no, actually we're already here. The other one is in Patches Master. Yeah, and then I also want to edit, probably still got this. With actually tab player name completion. And then buffer readme. With allows stepping through player player names in the allows stepping through completions of player names with tab key while save field is open. And we may or may not. That's all that is right now. Oh, that's a full diff. So that's going to be name tab completion, player name tab completion. And then I will test that out today, see if it's in publishable form. Do we have anything else to work on right now? So curse assist, name assist. Yeah, I could do some rethink stuff. Big cursor detection is a big gnarly problem. Well, I mean, these are all big gnarly problems, really. There is the new server thing. Let's see. Does I think it should be fairly easy. So we've got the family trees that fetches it. So right now I just call fetch. Oh, and I've got all the lifelog data in here. I think that is just Fetch file, cache index, life log, cache path. Yeah, I think that one is fine. So if we go in there and do a fetch, we should have had a day for big server to show up. Big server 1, Friday and Saturday. I'm actually surprised it's a Saturday already. Output. No, that's the family tree output. This is the cache of that. Then in other scripts, like... Yep. Wait. Oh, yeah, this is using the same trick. Me being lazy. Now, I think this is the only 1hour1life.com in... Are you sure about that? No such file or directory. Okay. I thought that was a file expression, but I guess I was wrong. Alright, boots. Okay, let's go with specific server. All the indexes. Server 1, server 1. My recent live, yesterday's lives. Server 1. So that would theoretically need to be updated, but I've mostly been running this one. So really, I guess we'd want to do all subdirectories of cache that match 1hour1life.com. Are we already doing some dir scanning? Fortunately, it's checking the cache itself. History. That is the path. For each path, do path matches. What? My recent life's not. It used to be my past week. So dir dot for each in oh, do I need server for anything else? No. And I think these could actually be pulled out, barring scope issues. I just kind of pulled the whole thing in. Now if unless dir dot match can you just do substrings? I think it's next. Oh no, it's next unless. Expecting keyword end. I feel like that's mistaken. Oh no, because we left this in here. I was looking at the, that was the unless mixing it up. This might actually. So the only thing I'm using right here from images that I've already set up. Nope. No such file or directory. Lifelogs, big server. Oh, it is there. So this is path. Path. Well. We just do and yeah, that does recent, so probably actually nothing, but this is probably a big server. Okay, so we think that should be set up properly. Although we should really go in and do yesterday's as well, I guess. Did we leave? No. These are general parameters. And I guess I should run that, even though it's going to make a lot of output. There's a lot of families. Oh, this is probably some of the teen servers. You know what? Right, yes, that's the pattern matching off of that. Yeah, that's fine. Status, get diff. Oh, I was doing that. I think this ended up being too simplistic. Did not actually solve my R problems. And then I've got various other experiments. Account for now. Wait, what? Oh. Well, that was just a comment that should be fine, except jerk. Now, we also yeah, so this has a couple of things going on. We get into the R stuff. So we've got our shell script, which goes through all directories, so that's fine. So this may take so long to load. I don't remember what I was doing for testing on that. So we need to run that. Oop, I had this running over here. Yeah, so this little cheat doesn't work. Can you get a list the director files in a directory folder? So just being able to get a, well, part of the reason for this is that load directory also sticks the server number into the data, which means that doesn't really work anymore. Can we do one-to-one? No, one-to-one, one-to-two. I'm not sure if that one-to-one actually makes a different thing. But we could probably We could just get a list of big servers and add that to the server list. But what does dir? Well, oh, I'm not going to know what. I'm going to have to pick apart the path to get a server string. And maybe we can turn that into a factor later. This might be a project for another day. Path. Character of full path names to the working directory. Missing values will be ignored. Oh. Okay, so we need to find things that match 1hour1life.com. Yeah, we need to filter that to there. Possibly select out lifelog, blah, blah, blah. Lifelog and 1hour1life.com to give us a server tag that we can use in lieu of the server number. Maybe instead of server path, it's server tag. Although the path we want, yeah, this is giving us this. We have to reappend this and get the server tag out of it. This might just be a problem for a different day. I kind of want to... Oh, I need to rebuild my client. With all... Well, I guess I don't know if I need all the debugging. I think that could be a project for next week. But we need to STG... Oh, and then... Okay, that one's fine. That one's fine. Debugging info. I guess if there's a bug, I'm going to want to see it. Okay, that's cool. Build that. So we're set to try playing it this afternoon. And then I am going to sign off and go hit up lunch. And we'll come back and try out... So we've got the patches, and then a bunch of stuff with name completion and opening the text field. We'll see if I can remember to use that. But thanks for watching. Thanks for all the hosts. Let's see, do I have anything to recommend myself? And then I'm usually doing code in the mornings, game in the afternoons. Saturdays are mostly 1 hour, one life days. Do we have any other? Well, if you're looking for some more programming, Makings of a Hero is working on a MOBA. If you're looking for someplace cool to hang out, that's someplace cool to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Goodbye, and until next time.